Hello, good morning, happy Wednesday. I'm so excited about this morning. Um, so yeah, exactly. So we are Caitlin messaged me this morning and yeah, and said her family is down with pneumonia. Just one second. And so I immediately was like, this is perfect because Nicole has not spoke on Power 30 fully yet. So I was like, this is a perfect chance to do that. So Nicole is an absolute boss. And here's what I want you to know. She is like points from senior gold. Okay. Very close to senior gold. And not just because she's a great recruiter, but because she's actually a really great developer. I'm in a lot of chats and her people are signing people up. Yeah, people. And that's when you know that you really are starting a foundational business. Duplication is starting to set in. And so I just really wanted her to come on and just share this morning. So, Fast Start Gold, brand ambassador Nicole Shive in the house. Hit it, girl.
I wish everyone would like introduce me that way. Like, can Chris take notes? First of all, thank you for asking me to be here. I could have used 100 reasons as to why an hour ago when Alita asked me, I could have been like, no. Um, I had just texted Chris and been like, I feel like garbage today. So I could use that as an excuse. There's 100 things I could have used. However, my New Year's resolution was when I lay my head at night, I need to feel good about what I did today. And I knew if I laid my head tonight and made excuses, I would have regretted it today, tomorrow, and the day after. So part of me showing up today for all of y'all was showing up for myself. And I told Alita, like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to talk about. I never done this before. But that sounded like an excuse to me. So in turn, I decided I was just going to talk about kind of where I'm at and my growth and what I'm choosing to do, and hoping that it resonates with all of you and that we as a team can walk away today feeling like, okay, I might have got my toes stepped on a little bit, but I know for myself, when I get my toes stepped on, like I run. I'm like, I got to go. I got to do it. So first thing is, I decided I'm holding myself accountable. And whether that is asking myself to hold myself accountable, whether that's asking my husband, my kids, Alita, she's really good at holding me accountable. Um, so, with that, I decided that I am going to ride my Peloton X amount of miles this month, and I'm going to send X amount of messages every single day, and I'm going to only listen to worship and personal growth this month. And I hope that what I'm doing is going to rub off on other people, such as my kids, my husbands, my friends around me, my family, and everybody will be inspired, and we're going to be one big happy family. So, we in our book club right now are listening to John Maxwell. And he asked the other day, like, he names off all these different things that you could be, right? Like, you could be assuming something, you could be lacking knowledge, you could use all these things as excuse. So he asks you to write them all down, circle which ones apply to you, and then find the bridge on how to gap that. I'm not going to lie, I felt like I could have circled every single one of the things that he talked about. The truth of the matter is, we're all really, really good at making excuses as to, I don't know, why we couldn't get live in our story today, or why we didn't send 30 messages and we sent 15, or whatever these things are. But I feel like it's kind of cliche when we all go into the new year and we're like, okay, new year, new me. Well, why should we define growth to one time a year? Why shouldn't we wake up every single day and say, I want to grow in one way or another today? So when I tell you we're taking notes in our book club, we're taking notes in our book club. I've decided that each of these things that I circled, I'm going to devote my life to one of those words every single week. So This week is assumption. I could assume that I was going to get on here this morning and absolutely make a fool of myself, or I can assume that I'm going to get on here and I'm going to step on a couple people's toes and I'm going to help a couple people. And in turn, I'm going to encourage myself. So I can say that I encourage you to find those things. And if you're not listening to John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, do it. Do it today. I'm obsessed. Like, I could not stop listening. And I was like, if I keep listening more than what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to be done with the whole book and my book club's going to be like way off topic. And I'm going to have to like go back and listen and read and do all the things. So find the growth, find what resonates with you. And maybe, just maybe, I doubt it, but maybe John Maxwell's a little too dry for you. Or maybe this person that you're going to listen to on an audiobook just doesn't resonate with you. And that's okay. We're all individual people. We need to find what works best for us and then follow through, go with it, do the things. So would you rather go to bed at night knowing I did all the things today, or would you rather go to bed in disappointment and say, I'm going to do it tomorrow? Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. No, I know that in myself, I have to show up for myself every single day to know tomorrow I'm going to conquer something new. Today I did this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. And then the next day I'm going to do something new as well. So you have to show up for yourself, because I hate to break it to you, nobody else is going to show up for you. Everybody can tell you, I'm here for you. I support you. All the things. But is somebody actually going to plant a sip and see for you? And then here you go. Here, it's all done. Now go succeed. No, they're not. So you have to make the decision. Are you going to show up for yourself today? Are you going to show up for yourself tomorrow? Are you going to show up for yourself in a week? Because ultimately, at the end of it, you not showing up for yourself is holding you back from succeeding sooner. I know my dreams. I know my wants. I know my desires. And in a year, when Chris and I decide to buy our dream property, if we don't have the money because we didn't hustle, who does that fall back onto? I could blame Sally for not signing up for Plexus, or I could blame myself for not giving Sally more information, or helping her sign up, or encouraging her, or being more personal with her and saying, hey, I've noticed that you talked about that you have, some type of, something going on, thyroid, you have diabetes, you have gut health, you have this, that, and the other. And resonate with that person, get personal with that person, go in and really think about how you would want to be spoken to, and then speak to them that way. There's no trick to being personal with somebody. It's just putting yourself in the shoes of, I'm going to speak to that person like I would want somebody to speak to me. Like Alita spoke to me when she came to get her lashes done. And I was like, girl, my guts are killing me. I have, celiac disease. I don't know what to do. My husband has IBS. And she's like, I've already told you. Come on. You know the answer here. I'm like, crap, you're right. So in that time, I realized that I had everything to gain and nothing to lose. Nothing. We get really, really good at making excuses. Alita asked me probably 8-10 times, hey, did you get the link I sent you? Hey, did you do that? Hey, what's holding you up? And I think the reality is that I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know. So there again, I was making excuses instead of getting on, doing my research, or getting on and actually, doing something with my life. I made excuses for like 3 or 4 weeks. And I look back and I think like, that's crazy to me. Those are 3 or 4 weeks that I could have had somebody who could have been my top business builder. I could have let that go. I maybe could have had, I don't know, something, but the maybe, I don't want to outweigh anything anymore. I want to know that when I lay my head at night, I have done everything that I could to possibly fulfill my cup. And I showed up for myself. I showed up for my husband. I showed up for my kids. And so I think that if everybody really got out of their own head, got out of their own way. Yesterday, Alita's like, hey girl, I haven't seen you in your stories in a couple of days. Like, what's going on? I could have made every excuse in the world. My kids are literally playing tag inside. My husband's on FaceTime with somebody. I have the dog running around chasing the kids. We literally have a gymnastics mat in our dining room. And you know what? I got on my story. I made my pink drink. And you better dang well believe I muted myself. And I put some damn circus music on because my life was a freaking circus yesterday. But I knew I could have said, I didn't get in my stories today because my life was a circus. Well, everyone's life is a circus most of the time. We all have things. We have kids. We have dogs. We have lives. We have sports. We have all the things. So we can either choose to assume it's going to happen. We can choose to make excuses, or we can get up, show up, do the things, and be proud at the end of the day that I did something to make a difference today. Not everybody's going to show up perfect, but nobody's perfect. So stop fooling yourself to think, I can't do this if I'm not perfect. Half the time, I'm probably going to get on. My hair is probably going to be on the side of my head looking like a crazy person. I'm probably going to have kids running in the background. I'm probably going to be, I don't know, driving to sports or whatever. But we can make excuses. We can assume it's going to happen tomorrow, or we can show up today, feel good about what we're doing, making a change. You got to make that choice. So I hope that you can all resonate with yourselves, with each other, with find strategies, do the things. And I'll tell you, when I told Lita today, she's like, well, if you don't want to get on and you don't want to talk, like, that's totally okay. And I said, you know what? Like, I have 100 excuses as to why I couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, didn't want to. But am I showing up for myself? I would have went to bed tonight with regret. I would have went to bed tonight feeling like, what if I would have just got on? What if I would have just showed up? Nobody on here, raise your hand if I'm wrong. Nobody on here is judging me right now. Like, dang, Nicole's a hot ass mess today. Nobody. Because we're all in this together. I have a sore throat. I've got a sick kid on the couch. I've got all the things. I'm still going to message today. I'm still going to show up for myself today. I'm still going to show up for my team today. I'm going to do all the things because I've promised myself that I'm going to do such. So I guess all of this to say, you have to find your why. And it sounds really cliche. And it's like, my son made a joke yesterday, like, oh my gosh, I hate the New Year jokes. Like, oh, I haven't gone to the grocery store all year. And he's like, I hate the New Year jokes, Mom. I hate all the New Year's resolutions. I hate this, that, or the other. And I was like, you know what, bud? Like, me too. I hate deciding, oh, it's the beginning of the year. It's a great time to start a resolution. Well, why are we defining it to one time of the year? Why are we not defining growth every single day? What is it? What's holding you back? Why are you not showing up for yourself every single day? So I think for me, and your why could be different, but you have to really, really write down, resonate your why. What is it? And if you don't have one, find one. Because people without a path, like without a plan, you're literally just wandering. This business isn't about wandering. You show up, you do the thing, and then succeed. There's no way anybody that's wandering is going to succeed. So my why got written out. My husband and I literally sat. I went in one night and was like, hey, do you have 10 minutes? He's like, yeah. I'm like, could you pause the football game? He's like, sure. What's going on? I was like, I am so freaking pumped about what I learned in my book club today that I'm going to need you to give me 10 minutes to pass this along to you. And you're going to have to participate. There's no question. So it's now or now. Sorry, pause the football game. So I literally went through all of my notes with Chris and asked him, do you like what you're doing? And I sat there and waited. What do you want to do? And I sat and waited and I listened. And I was telling Lita that it was really interesting that our whys came out with the same result, but we were in very different places. So for him, his was more work. Mine was more mental, like development. But we wanted the same thing in the end. So I realized that he needed to write out his and I needed to write out mine. And that's the only way we could draw this path of coming together at the end for what we wanted. So you might have in your brain, I know my why. It's because I want to buy my wife a new car. It's because I want to pay for my kid's wedding. It's because I want to, I don't know, whatever the case is. I want to retire. You might have it in your head, but unless you actually put it out in a vision and look at it every single day, it's nothing. It might be a dream, but everyone can dream. But it's the people that put in the work. They show up, do all the things. Those are the people who are going to succeed. So find your why, write it out, do the things, show up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, I promise you, if you do not show up for yourself today, if you do not show up for your why today, if you do not do the things, you're going to be laying in bed tonight like everybody else, scrolling your phone and thinking, why didn't I show up today? What was it? Because now you've prolonged it another day. And excuses get easier and easier to make. Easier and easier. I could make 100 excuses. I got floors to mop. I've got a sore throat. I don't know. It's 26 degrees outside. My toes are cold. I could make any excuse in the world as to why I couldn't get on here today. I could make any excuse in the world as to why I couldn't message people today, or why I couldn't sit down and really put my vision on paper and put a plan and do the things. Or I could show up for myself. I could do things and go to bed proud tonight, knowing I did what I did. It's in God's hands. I gave everything today. So yeah, find your passion. Find your why. And if you can't, call Alita. She'll get it out of you. I don't know.
So good, Nicole. So good. Okay, I would love for you to leave with one tip of how the burning question I know everybody is wondering is, how are you getting people to build under you? And then their people are starting to build as well. What do you feel like is your secret sauce? Do you feel like it's your three-way chats? Or what do you think it is?
So I'm a big believer in that third party validation. I can validate people all day long. But I really do think, like, I have somebody right now who I just had a three-way Zoom with Alita, and she wants the business. And she was texting me the other night, and she was watching Megan talk, and she actually brought her husband on, which was really cool. And was actually like really inspiring. Like she was texting me during it and stuff. And anyway, um, she was like, my fear is like, I have kind of a younger crowd. Like, what if nobody buys? Like, what if nobody wants the product? What if? And I was like, but what if they do? What if they do? What if they find the biggest business builder under you and you explode? And it's I feel like I kind of mind shift with people. Like everyone's afraid of fear. Everyone has fear. Everyone has doubt. Everybody has something, a reason why they hesitate. So I think part of it was really just like going in with a vision and saying like, okay, so what is it that you're looking for? And
Mhm.
then just really building off of that. Even yesterday, somebody was like, hey, I want to know more about the products. And instead of just going in and talking about the products or sending them a video, I said, what are you looking to fix? And I'm kind of opening that door and allowing them to kind of open up and give me a little piece of their life that I can kind of run with. So she's like, well, I want this and I want that. And I said, oh, okay, I totally get it. I feel you. I was in the same boat. Or, oh my gosh, you totally remind me of somebody on my team that is around your age and they had similar issues and look at their success. They've had XYZ happen. So I think like really validating people's concerns, because we all want validation at the end of it. Like we all want to know we're not in this alone, whether it be weight loss, gut health, skin, business, whatever it is. Nobody wants to be alone in a journey. And so I've really made it relatable for people, especially my business builders. Um, even like my mom, I was like, oh my gosh, I have multiple people on my team. And so I think that's really my secret sauce, if you will, is trying to be relatable to people and really applying what they give me to, okay, so I understand that you're kind of in a crutch for this, this, or this. I think I have a solution. What do you think? Does this sound like something that might help you?
And I would say too, you are really excellent at follow up. You are really excellent at making sure like you're coachable. Like every person you bring on gets told about the referral link at least 3 to 4 times. I'm in those chats with you. Like you are continuously in there. How are you loving your products? And they're like, oh, I love this, this, and this. You're like, you should share that. That continual sharing of the business. I think a lot of people think a business builder just appears. A business builder is developed. Um, Most people aren't going to just join you for the business. They join you for the products, and it's our job to share the vision, to want to encourage them to start sharing. And if you never offer them to share more than multiple times, they're probably not going to, right? And so, um, you've just been really brave in sharing, and I just really love that so much. So
Thank you.
I have loved this. Like I'm just blown away. You absolutely killed it. And so grateful for you. Thank you so much for stepping in for Kate this morning. I appreciate it. And you
Well, she
absolutely
feels
killed
bad.
it. I know. Absolutely killed it. So grateful. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.